It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back, everybody. This is your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It is Wednesday, and you know, our favorite movie guru is here to bring us all the latest movie trailers. Looking so good today. Orange is really your color.
You're betraying the debacle that just went on off camera, getting mic'd. I was being frisked by like 6 guys. Live TV is the weirdest thing in the world. I'm trying to look calm here, but
you look good, Shane.
Thank you.
You look very good. Just take
I'll
the compliment
accept that.
and say thank you. Even got a new haircut. All to tell us about the latest movie trailers with no SA release dates just yet. But let's get into the first one.
No, I suppose one has to look fancy because Cannes Film Festival just started yesterday.
Okay.
17th until the 25th, if I got that correct. So we're going to be talking about some of the movies that are making their debut at the Cannes Film Festival. Obviously, this is a place where some of the big names land and some interesting ones come out of the woodwork. Like, you know, we had Parasite, for example. So actually, speaking of Parasite, there's a lot of Eastern movies that we're talking about. So how about I start with Decision to Leave, which is a strange title, isn't it? It's not necessarily super poetic, but whatever. South Korean movie, and I'm sure that we'll figure out the feeling. Oh, what a beautiful poster, man. Good grief. So the director is the first...
No, the
What?
poster looks like that funeral pamphlet that you get.
That's a good point, yeah.
When someone's dying, they're like, this is
Do you want to learn more about diabetes or something like that? Yeah, I suppose. Well, the poster, similarly to the visuals, has a look of people being pawns on a chessboard kind of feeling. They're these like, what's the word? Darn it, the cameraman can help me with this. Tilt shift kind of shots there, like on the faces, where humans are made to look smaller against their larger surroundings and whatever. And the reason being is because there is a game afoot between a detective and this woman. Husband is mysteriously murdered, dead. We'll find out as the movie goes along. And he seems to be getting ensnared. I don't want to use that word because she might have her own motivations. Did she kill her husband? Is she just seducing the detective? Is he actually falling in love? This is the tangled web that we'll unweave as we find out when Decision to Leave comes to South Africa. It is probably going to win the Cannes Palme d'Or.
Oh, wow. That is a bold statement to make, eh?
Well, you know, it's me and like thousands of other people saying this, but Park Chan-wook is one of the greatest film directors we have of all time. So when you go to film school, one of the first movies someone shows you is... Nuts, how can I even forget? Well, anyway, for one, there's The Handmaiden from 2016, and Old Boy was the other one.
Yes.
Excellent filmmaker. And you can just see from the visuals there that the guy has such an eye for these kinds of things. And then America is going to make an adaptation of the movie and totally screw it up. But until then, hopefully we can get this at a festival. And certainly, because probably might cop the Palme d'Or, we might even get it on a normal release in South Africa at some point. I'll update you when that time comes.
So when it comes to the next movies, it's also going to get this.
I'm super excited about these. The Hunt. I mean, like, this trailer is better than, like, the past 4 action movies I've seen. The next 2 minutes of your life are going to be a bit of a thrill ride. This is actually directed by the guy, I think he's not Jung Jae-il.
Jung Jae?
Thank you very much. He was a recognizable face, I'm sure, for a lot of South Africans. Squid Game, the main guy from that,
yes.
who everyone was quite surprised. It's like, actually, he's super sexy. He's not just a scraggly Becky man.
Oh, no, he is super sexy.
So you can find him here. Lee Jung-jae is also the director, also the writer. It looks like a huge passion project of his, and is also another historical kind of story like Squid Game, where you find out that he has a past in the student riots and all that kind of stuff. This is also Cold War era spy versus spy, who's doing wrong, who's catching who, etc., etc. Trying to find a North Korean spy in South Korea, but look, the trailer's so slick. I love the movement of it. I love the motion of it. Yes! I'm so excited for whatever this is. This is going to be at the Cannes midnight screenings, which is more of the action-packed kind of stuff. Not necessarily artsy-fartsy, but as you saw in Squid Game, excellent actor. And don't we love a bit of action that is actually slick and well-designed, like we had The Raid back in the day, The Raid 2, and now Hunt, hopefully is a contender for the throne of one of the greatest actions of all time. That's a strong statement. But it looks like if you love the kind of things like Heat, etc., etc., The Departed, where you've got who's the mole, who's the insider, who's the outsider, etc., etc. I'm super excited for this. We'll find out more as time goes along.
There we go. I just had to know. It does get this.
That was natural, sorry.
It does get this.
It got 1 now. Give it
This
5.
one. This one. What about Hunt?
Hunt?
No, Broker. Sorry, Broker.
We can talk about that a bit more if you like. I know the adrenaline's pumping. Broker now is a bit of a mood change and stars one of the greatest actors we have. Kang Song-ho. He is the actor from Parasite, the lead actor, people might remember, who should have been given the Oscar. And yes, at least the movie got 4 Oscars. I'm still jaded about, well, not jaded, bitter about that. Parasite should have won everything. But from the same distributor, and this is because they carry a certain level of quality, like Parasite, CJ Entertainment, they bring us Broker, which is Hirokazu Koreeda, a director who last did Shoplifters in 2018. Heartbreaking stuff this guy does. He does these stories where people are in an ethical bind, where people are trying to see the silver lining of doing something that might feel a bit dirty at the edges or the margins of the law. And naturally, life comes to bite them in the bum when they thought they could just see a way out of the darkness. The story here being that he's this guy who, they're these baby boxes they have in South Korea, where if you are a mother who feels she's incapable of doing it, unwilling, you leave your baby.
Baby in the box, yeah.
Sort of like, I suppose, how people used to do that in nunneries and stuff like that. So he hijacks a baby from one of these boxes, decides he's going to make a business venture of it along with his friend, and becomes very involved in almost being a surrogate father and saying, no, we're going to wait a bit longer and see if we can find the right parents. We're going to wait a bit longer. Then the mother comes back into the picture. She's obviously got her own remorses. She's got a second thoughts, etc., etc. And the authorities are on the hunt for these guys because you really shouldn't be doing this. But, it asks these bigger questions about us as a society. Are we doing enough? For whether people abandoned, like the main character even, who is in his own destitution, his own poverty, and just trying to figure out a way. They form this strange sort of road trip family of their own, no one actually related, but forming a community themselves. Hopefully it has a sweet, happy ending, but we'll find out when we all go to Cannes, don't we?
Yeah, we're all going to go to Cannes because there's no South African release date for this. Would you give it like a...
Oh man, Kang Song-ho, Hirokazu Koreeda, Oscar nominee. Please watch Shoplifters, 2018 by the way. But I'll tell you a bit more when Broker comes to South Africa.
Yeah, we still have more movie releases coming with JP Sebastian. Of course, the movies are sorted. It's time to head to the kitchen for a snack.